Hey, everybody, welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. Make sure you let your friends know that today the Wrestling Minute is going to return for one time only. Stick around, watch some videos, and I'll see you in about, 10 minutes. First up.
Hey, I'm Dustin Nguyen, and Fantastic Comic Shop is the best comic shop in the world. I don't know, is it really?
At last, the greatest album of love songs ever recorded. You'll want to share them with someone special.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
Sung by the man who turned a personal affliction into a recording career, Don No Soul Simmons.
Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. She'd been sitting there and
So curl up by the fireside and listen to the non-threatening music of this master showman.
And honey, I miss you. And I'm being good. And I'd love to be with you. If only I could. Say, has anybody seen my sweet gypsy rose? Here's her picture when she was my sweet man.
Young lovers of any age will cherish this timeless collection of the world's most romantic ballads. And if you act now, you'll get free this bonus album, Don Simmons Down and Funky.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said.
This two-record collection is not available in any stores, so order now.
Yes, he always had some mighty fine wine.
Usual vault rules apply. Touch not, lest ye be touched. You're such an anal-retentive bastard. Hey, I tried to teach you how to handle comics in the 6th grade, but oh no, you wanted to play Little League instead.
Wow, what a swell place to work.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got the key, so I just come in, read comics, play music.
You worked here a long time?
Almost 4 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad. I mean, I'm pretty friendly with most of the customers, so I just hang out, bullshit, read comic books.
You get paid a lot?
No, that's where the trouble comes in paradise. But the boss, he's a pretty nice guy. He lets you borrow money from time to time if you need it.
C.
Do you see me more as the respected dramatic actor or more of the beloved comic actor?
Whoa. There's still plenty of meat on that bone. Now, you take this home, throw it in a pot, add some broth, a potato. Baby, you got a stew going.
People don't like Globochem and its 2023 different products.
The perception is that this company is a monster.
A beast.
A cold, heartless, smelly behemoth.
Run by a greedy,
fat-headed fatty pants.
a fatso. Who do you think you are? This company cares. We were in the people business when you were in short pants. My great-grandfather started this company with one single rickety, leaky, handcrafted slave ship and a simple motto: people selling people to people. So don't tell me that I'm fat!
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3! What? No soup for you.
I had enough. There was a giant papier-mâché rodent blocking my parking spot this morning.
You mean Pendleton J. Badger.
What does the J stand for?
Nothing.
Nothing starts with N.
It's just a kooky initial.
Q is kookier. Why isn't it Pendleton Q Badger?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him?
So tell me again about the 79 countries.
It's like this. Cartoon Network's the same in those countries as it is here, except for little differences.
Example.
Okay. Know what they call pound puppies in Paris?
They don't call them pound puppies.
Nah, they don't have pounds in France. They have the metric system.
Then what do they call them?
They call them Les Puppies Royale.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, what do they call Smurfs in Spain?
Like a Smurf is a Smurf. They just call them Los Smurfs.
Los Smurfs?
Yeah, and in Morocco mole is just called mole.
Dan, Klaus! I really identified with the girls in Ghost World. They made me feel like I wasn't so alone.
Yeah, whatever. Do you know anyone who works at Batman? 'Cause I really want to draw Batman. I'm awesome at utility belts. Check these out. This is where the Batman keeps his money, in case he has to take the bus.
Now I'm gonna show you all what it feels like to be a victim of supervillainy. Give me your shoes. I said get those motherfucking shoes off and throw them here! Now give me your wallet. There, how does that feel?
How does what feel?
I just took your wallet. Still want to be a supervillain?
Well, I do now. You have my wallet.
They took me off into a separate room. I seen them taking different people off, different ones of us off in separate rooms. And they put me on a big white table. And the guy that to take me there, the one of them that took me in there to examine me, I guess, he probed me. And then I was in there, I bet more than 3 or 4 hours in that room being probed. And at one time or another, there's different ones of them come in, 4, 5, 6 of them at different times, and all of them probed me. Not all at once, you know, individually. Later on, years later, now even still, it's a funny thing. It happened on a Sunday, and every Sunday, about the time that I was taken on board that ship, I find I have no feelings in my buttocks.
All right, come out or I'll blast you out.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with Hacha. Just watch this chorus steps.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. Is that better? I don't think it. You let me know on the other end. Welcome to the chat that are here. Welcome to the people that are going to be here after the fact. For those of you that are new here, you're like, what is this dude on YouTube doing talking about? What is he talking about? He's got all this shit behind him. He's got an LA Dodger cap on. Again, you know, I don't know why I moved it around. This whole thing on StreamYard. They made it hard for me. Anyway, for those of you that are new here.
My name is Yul Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. When it rains is in reference to a conversation I had with someone earlier today. I watched a YouTube video, not necessarily for this program, but in that program, they just said, you know, reach out to people, let them know that you are there. And, you know, I did. It's not always going to be the best conversation, but, you know, you can always just say hi. Maybe you might want to do that at your local comics store, because this one is open every Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, and I will be letting all of you know about some very, very choice. And oh my gosh, have I been complaining about how many books are coming out? Complaining, I'm not trying to complain. I'm worrying out loud. How I feel about the situation. And right now, as I'm ordering books to come out, and I'm thinking, holy cow, there's a lot of books coming out. I now have so many books in the store to have to go out for new books. Like, I specialize in having things from last week and the weeks before out still on the new rack. But it is a wave, a big giant tidal wave this week. And, boy, oh boy, that might be the crux of the show. We're also going to talk about people selling comics to comic stores. Maybe we can get a little bit deeper than that, or maybe talk about different people selling comics. But, you know, when they're coming in from out there to me, I have certain expectations, and I don't think that the people that are trying to sell always understand what these expectations need to be. Maybe we can brain you all a little bit when it comes to that. And as you know, we have a returning segment, maybe just this one time. I'm going to start off the show like we always used to with it. I was talking to Jill about not having a wrestling minute anymore and how liberated I felt, you know, not having to watch WWE and AEW. And even if I wasn't watching that, pay attention to the goings ons, even over at TNA and whatever. I'm really happy, because before I did the Wrestling Council, not the Wrestling Minute, but the Wrestling Council back in the COVID days, I was getting out of it. Like Jill and I'm like, cancel the network. You know, I don't really care. We were out. I was out. And then I was invited to come in and talk about wrestling. And I'm like, oh, you know, this is kind of fun. It was actually pre-COVID. And then, yeah, there you go. That was the thing that happened. So I've been watching wrestling ever since, or at least some amount of it. And it's been lessening and lessening to the point where I'm not even watching really much of anything. I'm paying attention sometimes when an event occurs. And I was talking to Jill saying, like, oh my gosh, what I need well, she didn't. She said to me, you need a new segment. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I could do this or this or this. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't need a new segment. What do you mean I need a new segment? Lucy, you get your ass down to the club and perform. That's a different take on that one. So a wrestling story fell in my lap this Sunday. Jim, if you guys show up to the store, you know who I'm talking about, showed me a video of something that happened at a very, very, very low rent professional wrestling event. Anytime money is being exchanged, it's professional, right? I'm not so sure about this one. And when you see the performers, oof, it's like the opening video, but worse, you know. And they had a guest backstage again, and some situation occurred, and as a result, people went all crazy in the ring. And I'm going to show you this, and it's sensitive. I brought it up from a different, I'm going to be using 3 different clips, and I forgot to link this first one. But the other clips are down in the comments down below. You can figure out who this is. It says right on the video. But in case something happens, you know, we'll be back in a few moments. This is the event. Okay, so this is the culmination, and it's very violent. So, you know, like this. It's probably like worse than Sid, but a lot longer. You know what I mean? When I say Sid, here we go.
As his kick stream rolled on, Raja Jackson, the son of UFC legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, went into the ring of a wrestling match and attacked Stuart Smith. You could see the punches landing on Smith's head as he lay unconscious.
I showed it in its entirety, and I did that because it's not, you know, once and twice and 3, and you're kind of like, oh, I could handle it. You know, if it was blocked, you don't see. It just goes on and on and on, and people are so slow to react. And I mean, you know, they're shocked as shit. But there's a lot of other story to happen that occurred beforehand. And let's see if I got any of this right. So my algorithm, I'm listening to this one show on Spotify, and they're doing all these deep dives into, you know, shady shit. And they're like, man, my algorithm, I need 2 YouTube, you know, things. And so I can search the stuff and not have like something not, you know. So I don't know anything about anybody. Well, I do actually, but so this first guy is talking about the pre-show.
Oh, basically, here's what led up to the actions. So Raja Jackson almost gets into a fight after a wrestler smashes a drink on his head, which I'm assuming also is probably part of the joke. So let's get this.
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, that. Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
He's not a worker. Dude gets hit in the head with the can, starts walking forward. Oh my goodness gracious. What happens after that? I don't. Yeah, I think.
What was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro. Oh, what the fuck was it? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
It's fake.
Nah, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro.
I will fuck him up, bro. Got all these people talking. You got the one guy, sitting down. Probably, I think they talk about him in a second about who he is. Trying to like, he's like, ha ha ha, funny, kind of like, you know, chill. You know, these are the things. Blah 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 blah. All right. So it continues, and then they have this big old conversation about what they're going to do going forward.
You know what's a good thing about this? Now I can make it something. Because I'm going to have you run in and fuck that motherfucker up in the mat. You ready for that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right. Talk to the president.
Yeah, if you can do that for me, I'll be cool.
Yeah. So the guy who's playing Peacemaker just informed him that we're going to have you run in and F him up in the match. And Raja was all too eager to accept that. I have a big problem with wrestling companies utilizing outsiders.
So the first guy show is Asmongold, I guess. And this is Maven Huffman. Maven from WWF, whatever the hell it was when he first started. He was tough enough. He got The Undertaker out at Royal Rumble. You know, that was his major claim to fame. And then he got a lot of ass whoopings as a result. Maven, I never watched any of his YouTube shows, and I was never really the biggest Raven fan. I mean, Maven fan. I was a Raven fan, not a Maven fan. But Maven's all right. You know, you're just kind of like, you take a look at his face, and it's just kind of like, you know, he's a good-looking dude, but he's kind of, I don't know. There's something he's just like a doll. But he's talking really eloquently about this whole situation. He's doing a big old breakdown. Again, I have the links down below, but I'm going to just hit some, you know, real quick spots as far as this is concerned. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do that. Hell yeah.
I'm going to have him run in on your shit in your match to fucking seal that.
Psycho Stu comes back into frame, and he's being told right here that Raja is playing a part in your match later.
Yeah, hey,
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's going to all work out.
Yeah, as long as I can do that. Yeah.
Right there, everyone involved with this, everyone thinks this momentary problem, but this is squashed.
Shook hands. There was that time when Psycho, whatever his name, Stu, he tries to shake dude's hand, and dude is not going to shake his hand. The other guy comes in, like he says, you know, we can handle things and we can do something, and then he shakes that guy's hand. The guy's smoothing shit over. I think Maven's doing a really good job breaking this thing down. You should really go and watch the video if you want to find out a little bit more. I can't wait to find out what the copyright claim is going to be on any of these.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were
He even says it right there. He addresses the camera. He saw the camera and he thought it's go time.
And Maven's just talking about, look, are you the kind of wrestler that slows up before you get to the curtain, you know, or do you keep running? You know, when you're backstage and there's a camera on, we're talking some pretty low rent wrestling. I mean, this guy Psycho, I mean, my banner here is blocking his gut. You know what I mean? You're paying big bucks to go see that. And this Rampage Jackson's son, Raja Jackson, is like hit over the head with a can. Obviously, it only hit him to get upset. I mean, hurt him to be upset. I mean, he was walking forward and looked like he was going to kill the guy right then and there. But now he's been given an opportunity to get a little bit of payback. It's going to be worked out. You know, let's make something good of something bad. Sounds like that's what wrestling often does. We're going to make something good of something bad. Unfortunately, you already know the end, but that's not true. There's a little bit more to it. Going backstage.
Yeah. Another thing is, even when we are working like that, you don't fucking, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't.
Following Raja's camera crew, you know, even deeper backstage, he's being led to believe that that's not how we do things. He shouldn't have hit you, and if he was going to hit you, there's a working way, a fake way to hit someone with a can of soda pop.
A fake way to hit someone with a can of soda pop. I would love to have seen this motherfucker Rampage Jackson's kid with New Jack. Balls Mahoney, the Dudleys, but it sounds like there was no work, the whole thing in the beginning. Cameras were on, you know what I mean? Thought it was supposed to hit you. Shook hands, going back, and then another guy comes in and says, that really wasn't a good way to do that. Shut the fuck up. That's what I kind of think, like, of all the people that are doing something really poorly here, I think that guy might be the worst, believe it or not. He's all, I don't think you should be hitting people that way. I mean, again, Maven.
Raja is not a wrestler. To him, a receipt is exactly what he gives him. In the wrestling world, it's
I know his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there.
He just told him, when you do your spot in the match, give him a receipt. If someone pops you, you pop them back. If they hit you, you hit them back. You make sure that you're not someone's punching bag.
That's right. I played the wrong clip first. You got to make sure you're not someone's punching bag. Work stiff. Don't hurt a person. You don't want to hurt a person. Work stiff. And if they fucked up in a match a couple weeks ago and you finally get a chance to get them back, you get them back. Maybe that leg lift into the gut is a little bit more real, and maybe so is the elbow that accompanies it. It's just not solid, You're not expecting someone to mess you up, or maybe you are expecting someone to mess you up, and that's where Maven comes in here.
Raja is not a wrestler. To him, a receipt is exactly what he gives him. In the wrestling world, it's totally different. I remember during a match, my very first match with Taz, I go to hit him and I accidentally hit him too hard, and I go to apologize and he taps me. That's telling me my receipt's coming. The receipt is a way for wrestlers to police their locker room and police what goes on in the ring without having it transfer backstage, without having feelings get hurt, without having problems linger.
But with the exception of that one dude talking shit about his buddy, I assume, everything seems like it's smoothed over. Like the guy's like, all right, everything's cool, But all this stuff is streaming, and what a lot of these other clips aren't showing you is that the scroll is going, and this guy is reading the scroll, and not only that, so is dude's father. And we go back to Asmongold for the end of this sordid situation.
Video on LSF shows Rampage insulting him minutes before the attack. So his own dad is rage baiting his son into ruining his life.
For people that don't know, his father, Rampage Jackson, is one of the most popular MMA fighters of all time.
Rampage Jackson makes fun of his son before he commits assault.
Yo, did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights? I looked at your stream, nigga, you hugging on some dudes, some booty shorts. I saw you hugging on your coach.
He trying to make it out like he's gay. His dad's rage baiting him by calling him gay.
Watch. My dad can't never call me a bitch. Straight up.
My dad can't never call me a bitch. Watch me fuck my life up. I'll show you, Dad.
How many subs to knock him out?
This is wrestling.
It's not very sportsmanlike.
Well, I'll admit it doesn't involve any dancing or homoerotic butt slapping.
And this has been your Wrestling Minute. All right, tell your friends about that segment. Holy cow. Crazy. So glad I'm not watching wrestling anymore. Or UFC or anything like that. If it's not GSP, it's not for me, That's what it is. If it's not GSP, I need more Canadians and French Canadians as champions, especially when they get hurt and only want to, like, you know, have like one event every once in a while. I'm just getting rid of some of these videos so that I clear up some space. All right, excellent. That was great. We're going to have a wheel spin in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to truck along and talk about the best comics of last week. Some of them I've actually read. And at first, I want to start with some honorees, some runners up, if you will. We've got G.I. Joe number 10 continuing to be a sellout. I keep upping my numbers and I keep selling out. So that's excellent. I'm happy about that. And even though I'm not reading it, I'm sure Joshua Williamson's doing an excellent job, and it's all part of the Energon universe. In Kirkman we trust. What's next? Oh, yeah. Last week I made a mistake. It's not Michael Hawthorne. It's Michael Dowling. And I forget what he was from, but I think he's doing a really good job on the second part of the Spider-Man story that's going on post Hellgate. There's a familiar twist, but not so familiar that I don't want to read the next issue. And the arts were looking really good, and Spider-Man seems to be really picking up. People are talking about some good Spider-Man stuff. And this book is a book that I read. Also, so is this one, but it did not come out last week. I forget which viewer, you can tell me if you're in chat right now, told us that Hulk was kind of boring. But I just read this 27th issue, and as a standalone issue, holy cow, this is like it's all right. So when Hulk in, I think it was issue 250, he got shunted off to limbo or something like that, you know, and he was like bouncing around to different planets. In one of the issues, it was the annual that year, he got this parasite stuck to him, and they form a symbiosis. It's a really good story, and it's powerful and strong, and one that I remember from way back in the day. And I think this issue, you know, if I was going to ever speculate on a comic book, it would be because of the story. Also because of really great artwork by Kev Walker and Philip Kennedy Johnson. Man, this is like, I know the Incredible Hulk story right now is going to be ending for the next one real soon, but this is a damn good contender for my favorite book single issue of the year. Really, really good. All right, what's next? Well, we've got TMNT Journeys by Peter Laird and Jim Lawson. So Blast from the Past. Peter Laird's doing the inking. It's in black and white, and it feels very much like a Turtle story of yesterday. Seriously. People said that about IDW Turtles in the past. But no, this is really like Turtles from the past, if we're talking about the very beginning. Except this is 15 years later. And it's really cool, and you get to catch up on your characters, and there's other stuff going on. Really recommend picking this up if you like 1984 Turtles. Next up, Black Cat was a sellout. I already got the restocks of certain covers. This one was a sellout, and I don't have any more. Or I should say the only one that I got in was already asked for by somebody in chat, probably. So there you go. But Black Cat, G. Willow Wilson writing and Gleb Melnikov doing the art. I didn't get a chance to read it because I had to give it my copy. So I'm looking forward to it. Catwoman Catwoman number 78. Why, this was a special oversized issue, and I looked at the art in it and I was like, man, this person is really, really good. I really enjoyed this artwork looking at this Catwoman. And we're talking about a mainstream comic looking like this. And I realized that, oh, this is part 2. So I went back and read part 1 from last month, number 77. Darn good issue. This is who is it? It's Torin Grant. Is it Torin Grantbook? Let me see. Let me take my banner down. Oh, let me take that banner down. Brom Gronbeck. Yeah, there you go. Best of last week. Going back up. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, yada yada yada. Really, really good issue, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. So it's not one of those that I order a lot of, but it has been keeping really real steady. And as much as I liked this last issue, you guys might want to start checking out Catwoman. It was a really good issue, and I'm definitely going to read this one. Coming in at number 2, a gimme. Invincible Universe's Battle Beast. I'm still selling this really well. Students are coming back, and I expect this to pick up maybe even more. The Invincible trades are selling like crazy. Maybe I was wrong, like getting that Battle Pope book. You can order it from me if you want to ask about it. And then lastly, well, this is an obvious one, but you gotta recognize. And I what am I gonna lie? Absolute Batman number 11. People are loving it. People are telling me I'm loving it. They're loving it. People are telling me I'm fool for not reading it, even if I don't dig Batman that much. But yeah, I mean, I love the artist that are working on the book, and Scott Snyder has been good. I'm just less interested in continuity stuff, but I know there's going to be the obvious crossover coming up real soon. That's your best of last week. All right, let me turn that off. Let me turn that off. And let me do that. All right, excellent. Why don't we go straight into a wheel spin?
Bill, spin my arm.
Come on, come on, come on! Come on, come on! I win a Winnebago. I win a Winnebago! No! So close. I spun it a little too hard.
That's true. All right, share screen. Gonna do the Transformers. We're doing a Transformers a week, everybody. So we're back on with number 16. This is a 1 in 50 variant by Homer. One-word names. I don't know what they are. This is very much the same people from last week. Maybe 1 or 2 less, or maybe switching up. If you ever want to be involved in this wheel spin, all you have to do is buy one of these issues from me, the A or the B cover. But if you want another chance at winning the 1 in 50, you also have to buy the 1 in 10 variant, and those are very limited. So don't be a fool. We saw Cameron last week just ace everybody out by winning both spins. Good luck, everybody. All right. It's always very exciting. What we got here? Wow, Nick. All right. I mean, you think I can't remember that, but I can't. So let me just write that down really quick. Congratulations, Nick. I wonder if the daughters would be impressed if you won. All right, let's just get rid of all these losers and take us back to the 2 that purchased the 1 in 10 variant, Fantinium and Cameron. Oh, Cameron, who won last week. Could he make it 2 in a row? This would be a first time which was last week the first time the way it went down. Are we rooting for Fantinium all of a sudden? No, nobody can really, truly root for Fantinium. Okay, let me just do this. I'm going to do that and do that. Sorry about all the typing. If the Transformers bit wasn't so quick, I wouldn't have subjugated you to it. All right, maybe Nick, who doesn't always come in but always buys his Transformers, or Fantinium, will I see you tomorrow since I didn't get my books in the proper time? Let's go to sharing. All right. Nick and Fantinium. One of them will win Transformers number 16, 1 in 50 variant by Homer. Here we go. Brand new winner, everybody. All right. All right. Excellent. Nick. All right. Got to remember that. Well, I just wrote that down. That's great. This just works out perfect. Now, way less work I have to do right here. Just Nick Transformers. I don't need it. What's this for? Excellent. Congratulations, Nick. Congratulations, girls. Congratulations, family.
You will win up. You will win up. You will win up.
That's right. You are a winner. Hey, everybody out there.
Hello. 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 Oh. Go. SAGA. Hello.
Hello. I wish I did this early on. 40 minutes of talking while this thing's just getting warmer and warmer and warmer. But what are you going to do? Cheers, everybody. Whoa, that'd be bad to cough. For those of you that don't know.
Who is the leper?
No, it's no big deal. It's just some guy who's been running around Riverside Park, cutting people's heads off.
Oh, I haven't read about this.
Yeah, well, the police, they've been having some internal dissension about the name.
Really? What are the other titles?
Headzo, the Denogonizer.
The Denogonizer. All right. Erica Sullivan was here first. I gave your boy Zach a new nickname. Your boy Zach. I remember those days when I watched videos because I wanted to see what it was like to review comic books, and a lot of it was either telling the whole story or there was no Ed Piscariat or anything like that, really. They were just guys sitting down bitching about comic books, but they bitched about the entirety of the comic book, and I appreciate that. And sometimes I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're just complaining about stupid shit. He's Chazy and Nags West, so it's Nags Formaggio, which is funny because one of the people that he used to get in a big old Twitter beef with, and yes, Twitter back in the day, was Mags Versaggio, who gave and took. Nags Formaggio, since he's cheesy. That's good. I like that. So we're gonna call your boy Zach Nags. That's Italian for cheese. I would suggest, and I know we got that part. Which, yeah, all right. I mean, not all of us are uncultured. Get it? Get it? I hope he likes it. I think he should. All the same. But I will say this: wasn't he always nagging? Really? And nagging is, yeah. He's getting on Wes. Wes is a voice in comic books, and so is your boy Nags, and you know, they're talking to each other or not talking to each other through videos. It's like diss tracks. I mean, every time I mean, you've made fun of on the show about times when I'm talking about Wes. Look, Wes leads conversation in comics, and not all the time am I picking him apart. But I mean, what Zach's doing, I guess, from what I can understand, is kind of he's ranking people. He's ranking people with voice. Maybe he's just doing it with Wes. I have no idea. He's taking a look at the people that are talking in comic books and about comic books, and he's just kind of saying, hey, look, you might be listening to this person all the time, but understand, to other people that person is like, maybe like Joe, like I mention all the time when Joe's on look, he's younger than us, than me. I mean, I just say us, the entirety of the world. He's younger. He's younger. He's having a good time, having a good life, writing some comic books. Yeah, I remember when I used to want to have a fun life, used to have a fun life and wanted to write comic books. And I didn't want to write comic books anymore. I still have a fun life. But it's all just different perspectives. And there you go. He's not all that evil, and he's not all that right. And I'm not just talking about Wes. Yo. Sell my comics. I ain't selling any of my collection, no matter what. I'm not in it for the money, but for the love of the craft. Amen. Also, I always laugh when more morons call me and ask, hey, what comic book should I get that will be worth something? Oof. I always say that's a loaded question. I reply probably with, dude, if you're collecting for money, you're in the wrong game. If you're doing anything with comics for money, you're probably in the wrong game. There are plenty of people that are making a pretty penny right now in comic books. I'm looking at you, Robert Kirkman, Daniel Warren Johnson, and Felix Art. Those are cool dudes. Well, I mean, maybe not totally. I'll let you figure out which one. Spider Guy. Selling is part of it to get upgrades or books you always wanted to trade. Correct. And not only that, something that I really like now, maybe I just don't care about it as much. Or I collect, the joy in collecting it sometimes is just collecting it and then getting it out there. Case in point, I probably wouldn't have done this if I wasn't a comic store, but we have the entire run of the Ohatmu covers that Chris Giarusso did. And those are really cute. And they're Ohatmu covers. So, got how to have them. I buy to read and for small investment on keys and future keys. And also some of the fun of collecting is the fact that you have something that is worth money. It just makes you feel better about. You shouldn't need that necessarily to feel better about your collection. Like my collection isn't like that at all. I don't have anything like that where it's worth thousands. All right, maybe that Turtles. I don't know. I could be wrong, but the Turtles could be worth a lot of money. But it's a second print, so it's still not the first print. But yeah, it just makes it fun that your comic might be worth a little bit of money. For me personally, having what's rare, something that everybody wanted and got, and now more people want it, still not rare. Or that very small run of like the last few issues of something that nobody cared about but you. or maybe, something that only had a print run of like 2,000 or 500 got out there, Anybody here know Lethargic Weekly? Lethargic Comics Weekly. Week, like WEAK. Look it up. Joby Pill's in the other room. Hello, Illithidler. Hey, all. Walk. I just got it set for storage, and not everything I read is the best. Just throw it away, unless it's worth money. Or, we could have a trade at the store. You guys down to have trades at the store? No money exchanges hands though at the store. So you bring a short box, another person brings a short box, and another person brings a short box, and maybe you have like 7 or 10 people there, and you just like look through each other's shit, and you say, well, yeah, sure, and then you probably just giving shit away, really. But what's up with it? Illithid Laura. I'm one of those weirdos who buys comics to read them and keep the ones I like and get rid of the ones I don't. Amen. It just sometimes takes a long time to get to those other ones, or maybe I'll like it later. I don't know. Maybe I don't read comics that way. All right, you guys talking to each other. Let's see. Dwayne Muth, how's it going? I think I figured it out. When the Dodger cap is on, Yule is going to talk about serious stuff. When El Pastor Del Rica hat is on, he'll be talking about something fun. Well, no. Last week, the Dodgers weren't playing very well, or they hadn't been really playing very well lately. And I was just trying to like break them out of the slump. And on off days, I had been wearing that. And also I did, anyway, maybe. We'll see. It's baseball season. It's dog. Give him a treat. All right. Let's see. Elizabeth, I wasn't laughing at this. Big week this week for new comics. It sure is. Oh, it sure is. You guys don't know. Dude, I need to get a loaner short box from you again this week. LOL. No, you can fit it all in the box that you have. Yeah, it's not even just the stuff tomorrow, dude. Spider guy. It's also the ones I'm looking at. When this Rage of Revelation happens, there's no reason to think it's going to be bad, because all the one-shots, I guess, are going to be penned and illustrated by people that are comparable to the people on the other books. So if you read a shitty book and it's going to be an Age of Revelation, then you're going to read the same shitty book, just with your character that you like. But then there's going to be the Jeff Loeb written Age of Apocalypse bit, like that miniseries thing. And Mohammed Asrar is going to be on art. So he's going from Bug Wars to that. And I think that's going to be, we're going to see big things from Asrar going forward next year, even though he's already, a thing. Not in your minute. Sorry, I'm late. How big a week is it going to be this week? Dude, you're hearing it. Social Circle Gaming, that wasn't fake. You pointed it. I watched. What did I just watch? I think it was staged. That guy. No. You watch Maven's rundown. I have it on the description down below. He goes through the hitting of the mat when like Rampage took him down pretty good, but the guy he's going up against sucks. Okay, like the level of wrestler might be here compared to Rampage Jackson's or Raja Jackson, but as far as athleticism, it's this way. And that guy's a bum. He's a bum. You're a bum, Rocky. That's what that guy. You're a bum. You're a bum. They did say this is the result of Rampage's father constantly trolling. Yes, he did with the exactly. Yeah, just you guys are on it. Good. I don't know this character, John Koppenhaver. We'll look it up tomorrow when I see you. Okay, very good. Well, I didn't know. Whoa, Jim. Thanks for the $4.99 and the subject matter. Illithid Lord says, you'll show the video that I posted. You'll get a kick out of it. Oh, I would. Shit. Post it again. I'll look at it right now. Braveheart said that the Age of Revelation, because they thought that Loeb AOA book would be late, but then it wasn't, so they're just releasing both. We're going to see a lot of that in a few moments. When we get to new comics this week, look, the reality is I can say, oops, we saw that. Marvel doesn't give a fuck, okay? The thing is they haven't given a fuck for a long, long time. They, I mean, old timers would say when they would do 2 a month, or when they, when Spider-Man had Spectacular Spider-Man, or when X-Men Uncanny went to X-Men. We had already suffered New Mutants. It's like Wolverine has a mini series, really? Now they're doing Marvel Comics Presents and it's Wolverine all the time. Oh, and on and on and on. It happens. And on another Avengers change in characters, what are they going to do without a Captain America-less Avengers? That type of shit. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of Marvel doesn't care. They're just going to put it out. They got it made. They're going to put it out. Let me bring these picks up for us. We will do the cigarette comics at the end. Let's see if this works. Oh, did I tell you? I think Illithid Lore said something about it. Was it Illithid Lore you saying that Joe's book was going to be closing out and it was close to being funded? Here's Joe and the artist getting together, and what was it? FlameCon? Oh my goodness. Oh, I blush. FlameCon. Awesome. And they got the money. It's happening. So I got the tier where the artist is going to have to draw something for me. And I was thinking, like, well, maybe we can do something with that. But what should I have the artist do? I was thinking, like, I kind of like, if I was going to get something, I often have done like Doctor Strange, maybe Clea, if I can get both of them, that type of thing. So that would be cool. I'm a big Firestorm guy. Ronnie Raymond, the other one, Jason Rush, can't think of his name right now. It's been one of most of my life. But even still, a white Firestorm or black Firestorm, I don't care. It's a good cookie. All right, let's talk about some new comic books that are coming out tomorrow.
Why, we sell a dozen a day in this price range.
Who buys them? Tax collectors?
Even if I had to pay, it would be worth it. Just for the occasion.
What, something big going on somewhere?
What's going on right here? It's a big night.
Well, it's just an old run-of-the-mill Wednesday. Well, the calendar's full of them.
Illithid Lore. Yeah, glad his book reached its goal. I'm glad it reached its goal too. I'm not a majorly big fan of crowdfunded books. I think it's cool small peoples to do it. For people that haven't done, I mean, shit, Joe's done a DC comic. We could be snobby about him doing it if we're going to. But he's crowdfunded a lot and he's worked over there and gotten a lot of things. And he's usually doing subject matter that isn't mainstream. When he does comic books for other companies, it's often very mainstream focused, just within, whatever genre he's working in. I think he's a good writer. And I think I think we should try and figure out a way to make him Legion of Superheroes writer. We should fucking get Jim Lee super excited about it and let him know that there's only one motherfucker that should do it, and it ain't gonna be like Mark Waid. And I don't want to hear no shit from fucking Mark Waid or any other person that's been there for a while giving us grief about this, because I think Legion fans, should have a say. And if they aren't going to bring Carrie Bates up and other old ass motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I don't share. Oh, I see it now. Wait, no, I don't have it. No. Did you send it to me or did you send it to let me see. No, I don't see nothing. Not in let me go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube, see what happens. I'm gonna skip that ad. All right, let's see. I still don't see nothing. Oh, I see. That's too much work for me. Are you crazy? I have to go all the way to the other store on my computer to get that. Are you crazy? I bring these pictures up so that I don't have to think too hard. Just finding your post to your message just there. Yeah, I can't say the words. And people blame old people for not being able to talk. First up, Yule, why do you suck? Yeah, whatever. I wanted to go in order this time. Why would you want to go in order? All right, let's go in order. First up, we've got Justice League number 10. Speaking of Mark Waid, Dan Mora, I think, is an artist on this, and I haven't really been reading a whole lot, but I have been reading a lot of Superman, and speaking of the Legion, Doomsday, Time Trapper Doomsday is here in this issue on the cover. Need I read this? I guess I'll have to check it out. Green Lantern number 26, part 3 of the Starbreaker Supremacy. I sold out of Green Lantern Corps, but I have more coming in probably next week. Death of the Silver Surfer number 3. Come in and get issue number 2 and 3 because we know you got number 1. Void Rivals number 22. Speaking of Robert Kirkman. Excuse me. Robert Kirkman. He can do no wrong, right? Immortal Legend Batman by Kyle Higgins. You know what that means. Batman Beyond? It's an Elseworlds book, so does that mean that the Batman Beyond doesn't really count in this universe? Because there was a Batman Beyond that counted in the New 52, but that doesn't take into effect Rebirth. I don't know. It's too hard to remember. Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, number 3, Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. These two Canadians get together. Oh, Dustin Nguyen. That was the guy that, yes, we are the best comic store. See, you don't want to make them say things that are going to make them have to question whether or not they are the validity of what they're saying. All right, these are 2 in a row going back to Marvel. We have Imperial War Black Panther. It's a one-shot. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to put this right in front of Imperial that came out a week ago, number 3. And, everybody can find all their Imperial stuff. But you know what else is coming out? The one-shot Imperial War Planet She-Hulk. Are they one-shots? I think they are. Just to kind of bridge the gap in between 3 and 4 of Imperial. And then Marvel does it again with Bring on the Bad Guys. I was like, all right, I'm going to put this up with all the other one-shot Bring on the Bad Guy books. Red Skull, Abomination, whoever. Here we've got Dormammu, but guess what they did? Yep. They also gave you Mephisto. So I'm going to have to this is what Marvel's doing, right? How am I supposed to put books next to the... And speaking of books, we've got a ton of miniseries to come. But first, we have the ending of West Coast Avengers. Almost like a miniseries, 10 issues long. Really good 10th issue. It felt like it was tying up, even though they were hoping they could have gone on a little longer. Maybe it would have been paced out a little bit better and less captiony. But overall, the voices of the characters were cool. I like the way it was written. Jerry Dugan does a good job. This Kim guy this Kim artist is a pretty good illustrator. If they're young, they've got some growth, and I like the start. All right, now some miniseries. We're taking everyone down with us. Number 5, 6-issue miniseries. Rosenberg. It's been doing well for me. Sellouts mostly, except for number 2, which I screwed up in the ordering. Come on in and get a number 2. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, number 2 comes out. The hit miniseries of, how was it, a year ago? Or was it 2 years ago? Comes out, and it's doing well for me. I don't order a ton, but I have people that are really enjoying it. Green Lantern Dark. I'm not sure what issue number that is. Number 6, I think. I'm not going to move it. Tate Brombell is the artist or writer. And who cares? Sorry, not sorry. The Thing, number 4. Tony Fleece is writing. What a cool cover. Like that one. I like that. All the eyes in a row. That's pretty sweet. I had a customer tell me that the art in the last issue was really bad. And I know that the art is from the same person who's been doing it since issue number 1. So I kind of wasn't sure what exactly had changed. I've only read the first 2 issues. But maybe it's just the realization that they don't like the artist, but still like the Thing. Nonetheless, you only have one more issue after this one. Brand new miniseries, the Skybound. That's Robert Kirkman, everybody. Universal Monsters miniseries, 4 issues of The Invisible Man. This time illustrated by Danny, another one-word person. But let me tell you, Danny does some really, really good stuff. This is Danny's cover right here. And The Invisible Man is a pretty psychotic story. Well, it's H.G. Wells, right? These are all like the movies. So don't expect the novel versions unless the movies were straight lifts. Vanishing Point number 4. Not an issue drawn by my friend Ryan Alexander Tanner, but by Jock. But not the Jock that Fantinuum is in love with. The Jock that, I don't know who this Jock is. Pretty good artist, though. Mark Russell's writing, and I know there's some people out there that aren't too into that. But this robot has to prove that it has no human emotions, no feeling, no thought past its prime directive, I guess, or else it's going to be disassembled. So if it actually has human feelings, they're going to put it out of its misery. And so it's like on trial. And it's like a one-issue story, all space related and science fiction-y. And if you love that kind of stuff, I would recommend any one of these issues, but especially the Ryan Alexander Tanner one, although I think this one's going to be cool too. Fantastic Four Fanfare number 4. You know that's a big issue. And it's so big that they got JMS to do the writing. Kafu is going to be doing illustration. We've also got a Daniel Warren Johnson penned story in this one. And it deals with wrestling and The Thing. So anytime I say that wrestling and comic books are very interconnected, look no further than Daniel Warren Johnson, the most important person creating books ever. You'll Do Bad Things number 6, the last part of this miniseries. Yay. Speed Racer number 2. Yeah, excellent. A lot of comic book, cartoon comic books coming out right now. I gotta say, this Speed Racer, I did not read the first issue and we sold out. But these covers and the interiors, it really does make me feel, remember the Speed Racer cartoons. Here's another mini series. The Voice said Kill 204. I've already read this issue. Cy Spurrier. Could I be a fan of his if he doesn't write The Flash? I forget the person's first name. Del Rey is the illustrator. And it looks really cool, too. It's this Louisiana thriller. And by the end of the second issue, it's like, oh, now I see where this is going. And then I'm like, how is that really where this is going? What does that even mean? That I don't know where this is going, but it's pretty cool. I'm digging it. I think we know, like, this is like Cy Spurrier trying to write like a television episode of something. Yeah, I'm just deleting pictures that just popped up. Anyway, yeah, so Cy Spurrier doing a book I like. All right, now let me bring up the cigarette books really quick. These are the ones that are actually behind me at the store in no particular order, except for the way this app brings them up. Oh, and issue number 1. Why, Yule, how can this be a bestseller in your store if it's the first issue? Why, it's the same writer writing the same character. The only thing that's different is an even superior illustrator in Pascal Ferry on the Mortal Thor. I think Sigurd Jarlson is going to make a reappearance as Thor's alter ego, which is my favorite time of Thor. I mean, Walt Simonson, right? Next up, we have Incredible Hulk number 28. And man, I am looking forward to this. Based on the last issue, so good. Philip Kennedy Johnson, bring it home. Bring it home. The Avengers by Jed McKay and Fareed Karimi. Really, really good illustrator. I like this series. I have not read all of the issues that are involved with the One World Under Doom, but with the exception of those, I'm very much caught up. Jed McKay and Netho Diaz on X-Men number 21. I am caught up with this series. And I've even read a couple pages of this one. And at the end of the last issue, we were introduced to the idea that somebody from our past, but not the past, is going to be coming in to take over these dudes. And of course, it's Fitzroy. So totally cool. If you understood what I was saying there. All right. Superman 29, Legion of Darkseid Part 2. The first issue was awesome. Still have issues of it. Pick it up. Pick this one up. Legion of Superheroes. I'm telling you, we need some good Legion. Joe Corallo. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6. People have been waiting for this one anxiously. And it's finally out. All right. Dennis Camp and is it Polito on art? Either way, it's good. Absolute Wonder Woman, another book that everybody's been really digging and selling out of. I'm upping my orders on all these absolutes. And as far as absolute compared to ultimates, it's obviously the longer standing winner right now. They got more heat to it than the ultimates did. The Ultimate Universe just kind of felt like, it's been very, very solid for my store. And not every absolute book has been a winner. Green Lantern isn't doing all that well, or either is Flash. But the main three and Martian Manhunter, whew, boy, people are really digging those. So it's funny that this should be the last one because I love this book. Ultimate Spider-Man number 30, and I'm caught up with this one also. I have this set aside, and I really want to read it tonight, but we'll see if I get around to it. Yeah, loving this. Jonathan Hickman, Chichetto, the fill-in artists are always really good. Great series. And there's a whole lot more. A whole lot more. In fact, let me just go to our Instagram page. Let's see, share screen, Instagram. Boom. There we go. Look at this book right here. That's Wednesday Comics. Yeah. It came out a while ago. It's got all the great writers and illustrators that you would want to see doing stuff. And Neil Gaiman. Ryan Sook, Lee Bermejo, Mike Allred. I think Darwin Cook does a story in there. Amanda Connor, Rizzo, Azzarello. Just really, really good creators. Everything you'd want to see. And they were all newspaper style too. And this is the collection of that in hardcover. It's a little expensive, and I don't want to ever have to ship it. But I guess I could. It's just going to cost a lot. But yeah, go to your store and get this. I highly recommend it. I have the newspaper editions. But yeah, you should get that. Go to your store and get that book. It's excellent. All right. Let's see. So we've done the Transformers spin for Nick. We've done New Comic Book Day. Let me go to comments. Is there anything else? I'll do this. Oh, crack that slab. Oh yeah, I have to talk about selling comics. We'll do that in a second. Let's go here. Come on. Still trying to catch up. Read only one book today. Also, Invisible Man was sinister. No, it's not email. It's the fact that I have to. Don't worry about it. I'll do a video on it or something. It'll spur me on to do something. All right. Besides, I got all this other stuff I have to do, I guess, huh?
Good.
That's right. Let's see. I don't have a Marvel Comics. This is number 85. You can see right here on this side right here. What does it say? We've got the goods on you now, Cleopatra. And you can see there's a shadow of someone hanging, and then all the way over here, someone hanged. And then coming up front, we've got Toro flying towards these dudes that have put Human Torch in liquid asbestos and then put a ball and chain on his feet, and they're going to drop him in the drink. And they're like, the only person that knows is the Human Torch. Let's get rid of him. He's like, not if Toro could come and save me. That's quite the cover by Sid Shores. Now, you'll see that this is a green tag, which means that this 4.5 is missing something. or it's qualified. Maybe somebody restored something, but no, it wasn't restored. It was the centerfold is missing. It doesn't say anything about story being affected. So does that mean that the story would be affected? It's got a hanging cover, a Namora appearance, and the last Miss America and Blonde Phantom in this title. So you got a lot of stuff happening in this one. We're going to crack this open thanks to Emil. And you know, this is a pretty awesome book. I wonder how much it would cost to get in, like, you know, quality condition, you know, not messed up and not you know, I'm going to try it this way first. All right, so this might be a little loud. I haven't warned anybody about that in a while. Well, that's why they put it in a case. All right. There you go. All right, that worked out pretty good. I can see my Doctor Strange shirt. All right, excellent. That's a quality crack. I don't see any debris, any debris anywhere. All right. We're going to get to our topic on the other side of this really quick video. All right, but we're still got a few minutes. I got a shill for the Patreon. Hey, we have a Patreon. Go give us money, and I'll put your name up on the screen like this. Thank you very much, really, everybody. You support the show or the store and ask for very little and get even less. But who knows what are we going to choose as far as getting some? Leave in the comments down below. Think about it. What's a cool character? I don't want no Batman, okay? No Batman. So we got no Bat family, please. So no Red Hood, no Robin. You can talk to me about short shorts, but that's not going to sweeten the deal. So, you know, maybe if you said like Batgirl, you know, like Adam West style, that'd be cool. All right, so people selling things to me. Last week I told you that a customer had a bunch of stuff stolen. And I thought, you know, it would be good, especially this week, if I make sure to say yes to anybody that's looking to sell some comics to me. And I'm keeping in touch with him as I'm on you know, the phone, texting him. And I was telling him that you might want to come on over if you just want to be here when they maybe come in, but they might not come in. And who knows when people, this is the thing. Call me up, say that you want to sell comics to me. Do you buy comics? Yes, I buy comics. Sometimes if I am not just so willing, I'll say, well, it depends on what you have. It depends on the condition. Oh, if I go into that much, if I say that much right there, it's an offering to have a conversation with someone. And it's not one I usually want to have. But the way it usually goes is this. Yes, depending on what you have. Amazing Spider-Man, Uncanny X-Men. Usually comics with the 40-cent price tag is something I'm looking forward to or looking for. Now, of course, if I'm being real, it could be anything from $3.99 to 25 cents, 15 cents, whatever. Oh, I've got a comic that's 8 cents. 8 cents, you don't say. That's interesting. All right. Anyway, you say, oh, and then it depends on what condition they're in or how much are they worth, oh, it depends on what condition. Oh, they're on great condition. They're in bags and boards. All right, well, the books I saw this week came in bags and boards too, and there was nothing to write home about. In fact, there was a piece that broke off and fell on my floor, and I didn't find it for like a day. I'm sweeping up, and I'm like, oh, this buy that didn't happen. So I'm letting my customer know that you don't have to worry. The only thing we have to worry about with these comics that I looked at is me having tetanus afterwards. Because in bags and boards, they brought them to me carrying them across the street loose, right? I'm like, oh my God, I could have just like waved them down and said, no, you don't need to do this. You can just stay right where you are. Person came over, brought all this stuff. I'm sorry, but none of this is really worth anything. And if it was, it wouldn't be in good enough condition. Another person, and he brought in shit from the 90s. And what do I mean when I say shit from the 90s? Oh, well, surely you couldn't mean anything from Marvel or DC. No, I definitely could be talking about things from Marvel or DC. What could be worse than that? Oh, I don't know, an Image comic, freebies, little, the booby comics of the 90s, but all trash too. I mean, like really physically, this one book had like the cover, like something was on top. This one we got to the bottom of the pile and I'm touching it and I'm like, oh my God, there's like condensation on these comic books. They're in bags and boards. And there's condensation. This one guy, I'm like, you gotta get these in. I can't offer you anything. I don't even want to see them. I mean, just the fact that I'm touching these in the first place. This one guy, I told him the nominal fee for something like this is $5 to $10. I told him $5. Yeah, $5. And he's like, $5? I'm like, yeah, because I'm going to sell them for $1, and most of them aren't going to sell anyway, and I'm going to get rid of a bunch of them right off the top. He's all, but this comic is $2.50. I'm like, yeah, well, it was $2.50 then. And so to him, it should be worth more, right? No, it's not worth more. I just told you I'm going to sell them for $1. And how much do you think I'm going to give you for something that I'm only going to sell them for $1? It's a couple cents, a cent. It wasn't even worth my time. I mean, I had to go and wash my hands and face because I think I got a pimple from that still. You know what I mean? Like, I had masks before we needed them and gloves. Anyway, I went through that stuff and I mean, I'm washing my hands like COVID's back, I'm not buying those books. Who has a bunch of shit? Okay. I mean, these people that drove to me, right? Who has a bunch of shit and doesn't even align it? Like, I got all this shit. Make it flat. Make book, like they don't put books like that. They put books like that. Yeah. It's like static electricity, a balloon in your hair. You know what I mean? It's like, what? I wonder what the Antiques Roadshow looks like because we see the good ones, right? I mean, I know they have some junkers and they'll put some on every once in a while. But does anybody come with like, oh, well, I had this like sitting in mud? what can you tell me about this vase? Well, it's in mud. Jesus. That's not like the worst though, necessarily. I get talked to for a few minutes by this one gentleman, and I mean, he said he was going to bring a box by that would represent, what maybe he had. And we had a really good long conversation. I was really excited to see this box. Never came. I mean, this was the box where I had to decide whether or not I wanted to do something stupid. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, so that's always a bummer, not being able to see that really cool. I was like, oh my God, what are these Spider-Mans going to be? Oh, and he was collecting from all the way from this time to this time. Oh, excellent. Oh yeah, who likes the early 80s? Mostly Marvel. All right, love it. I love what I'm hearing. Through. But just the worst though is this. Well, it's kind of tied. Okay, so you get a collection. Let's just say the Mighty Thor. And you're going through and you get to like the Simonson run. And then there's no Beta Ray Bill first appearance, 337, 336, 337. Old man here. I know what it looks like. Oh, it's not in here. And you go on, first Malekith isn't in here, or this. And he's either pulled it out or sold it. And now he's trying to get as much money as possible. I should immediately cut the deal in half immediately when I see something like that. Go through Hulk. No 180, 181, 182. Everything else. No first Jarella. No Todd McFarlane Hulk cover. Wolverine cover. That's kind of a pisser. Oh, Secret Wars, Marvel Secret Wars. I mean, they're all kind of expensive now these days, but you get no number 8. Stuff like that. And it's like, those are bummers, but I understand. But I think I'm thinking next time I see something like that, I'm going to either ask them, oh, you didn't luck out and get that book when you needed it, or, try and figure out, because otherwise I'm not inclined to buy a whole collection of stuff that doesn't have like the really good money book, because that's what usually is paying for the entirety of the collection. The desire to buy the entire collection is there all the time, but it's not entirely there now, is it? I pride my store in having a wide selection of in-between key comics, and sometimes keys too. And I don't cotton to that minor key stuff. You know how I feel about that Spider guy. But, trades are cool, things like that. But, man, it's tough. It's tough it's toughest when a person lets me know how much they sold for on eBay. Yeah, I don't go by eBay. I tell them I go by the guide. Oh, really? Well, I'll fudge the guide if I say the guide's not right. But your area better than other places. Than a guide for the entire world. This is the guide. Well, that's not what it's like in Berkeley. That's not what it's like in Montana. I don't think underground comics are quite the same. I don't know why I chose Montana. But yeah, so it also is very tough when you're buying from people that are doing professional comics or independent comics. I had a person came in and wanted to sell their pornography, really good pornography. Not my cup of tea pornography for the most part, but it looked really, really good and cute. And I was like, man, there might be somebody. I couldn't say no. I bought a copy of each. I know the person was disappointed, but I just don't have a porno section in my store. Maybe someday I can aspire to it. But until then, stuff that I can't see on the inside, if I can't bag it up and you want to buy it, then it's not something I can really have. And I feel bad about stuff like that. This one guy comes in, and I sold his first issue pretty good, and I really haven't sold the second or third issue. But, I buy those, just I can't as much. And that's part of buying also. And the other part of buying is like these companies, and they're fucking drowning me in comic books. I mean, holy cow. If I can survive this year, something big might happen if I can survive this year. But we got DCKO, and we've got Marvel and their Age of Stupid stuff, and the regular stuff that's going on, and things I actually like. And you got all the different companies within different companies. Image is putting stuff out. There's a brand new Brubaker book out tomorrow. If you're the kind of person that gets it on hold, don't worry, I'll have it on hold for you. Otherwise, I have a bunch of them. And then there's like magazines and things like that. Distillery still trucking. There's going to be Black Label ones. I'm trying to clean up in I'm just like you, except I got even more comics than you. Come help me out. I'll throw something in. I'll figure it out. Thanks for all my patrons out there. I really do mean it. Thanks for all the people that come in and watch the show. I really mean that. But really, for the people that give money, it's good to be seen. And the best way to do that is with Patreon, because you don't want to be like this guy.
Brad, $2.
That's the wrong one. I don't even know if I have it.
My last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh?
Paisanos!
$6.50 your change. Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Si!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile patrona!
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. I don't think I have missed anything. Let me just look at the banner one last time. Crack the Slab, Wrestling Minute, NCBD, comic books for sale. Clean your books up. Change your bags and boards. Use Mylar. And for God's sakes, if you just pissed on your comics, don't bring them to me. You know what I mean? I just don't. We're in a post-COVID world. I don't need your piss comics no more. See you next week.
Lucy and Ramona cruising through the jungles of L.A. Hoping to promote a dream somewhere along the way. They're rolling through the streets, looking for a disco, passing up the treats from a kid named Cisco, trying to make connections with their blemish food complexions. And just as fate would have it, ended up with Sunset Sam. Sam was selling watches from a suitcase on a TV tray. And Lucy and Ramona kept trying to figure out if he was gay. The three of them were standing, staring at each other, when the light behind their eyes blew each other's cover. The ancient code was branded, and each of them was handed a ticket to their kingdom, 'cause they saw their brother Sunset Sam. Lucy was from Compton, and she met Ramona at the zoo. Ramona was from Brooklyn. She left when she was 22. Sam was a native of the Arizona desert, but he split when he was slated for some governmental make-work. Their differences subsided when the common bond was sighted. They were all from the same place that made them famous